Or if you could manifest your deepest desires in the 7 minutes before you fall asleep. Neville Goddard discovered that these drowsy moments hold the key to complete life transformation. He called it SATS, and it's about to change everything. Tonight, you'll learn the exact technique that manifested millions of dollars, perfect relationships, and impossible dreams. The discovery of SATs. Neville Goddard, a mystic from Barbados, made a revolutionary discovery in 1941 that challenged everything we believed about reality. He found that the drowsy state right before sleep, what he called the state akin to sleep or SATs, it's when your conscious mind's guard is completely down. Think about this. Every night, you enter a hypnotic state naturally. Your brain waves shift from beta to alpha, then to theta. In this theta state, your subconscious mind is 200 times more receptive to new programming than when you're fully awake. So, but here's what Neville discovered that nobody else understood. In this state, your imagination becomes your reality creation tool. Not metaphorically, literally. What you imagine with feeling in SATS becomes your tomorrow's experience. He tested this on himself first. Broke living in a basement in New York, Neville used SATS to imagine himself sailing to Barbados in first class luxury. He had no money, no connections, no logical way for this to happen. Within 2 weeks, his brother unexpectedly sent him a first class ticket home. This wasn't coincidence, this was consciousness creating reality. And in the doorway, those precious moments before sleep when your rational mind can't argue with your imagination. Or the science behind SATs. Modern neuroscience has proven what Neville knew intuitively. Dr. Stuart Hamroff's research shows that in the theta state, 4 to 7 Hz brain frequency, your neurons enter quantum coherence. This means your thoughts literally influence probability fields at the quantum level. But here's the game changer. Your subconscious mind, which controls 95% of your life, doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. When you're in SATs, imagining with feeling, your subconscious accepts it as fact and immediately begins reorganizing your reality to match. This is why affirmations fail for most people. They're trying to convince their conscious mind while they're wide awake. That's like trying to reprogram a computer while the firewall is at maximum strength. SATs bypasses the firewall completely. In the drowsy state, something magical happens. Your brain releases massive amounts of theta waves, the same waves present in deep meditation and REM sleep. But unlike sleep, you're still conscious enough to direct your imagination. You're literally standing at the doorway between worlds, awake enough to choose, relaxed enough to impress. Scientists call this the hypnagogic state. Ancient Egyptian called it the gateway to the gods. Neville called it your personal reality studio. Every single night you have access to this power. Most people waste it worrying about tomorrow. You're about to use it to create tomorrow. Then the exact SATS technique. Here's the exact SATS technique Neville used and taught for 30 years. First, know exactly what you want, not vaguely, specifically. Create what Neville called a scene that implies your wish fulfilled, not the getting, the having. Want financial freedom? Don't imagine receiving money. Imagine a friend congratulating you on your success. Want perfect health? Imagine your doctor saying your results are perfect. Want love? Imagine wearing the wedding ring, feeling its weight on your finger. Now here's the technique. Lie down for sleep, close your eyes, relax completely as you feel drowsiness approaching and that floating feeling where reality becomes fuzzy. Begin your scene. But here's the secret most people miss. Make it a short scene. 3 to 5 seconds, no more. A handshake, a congratulation, looking at your bank balance. Why short? Because you're going to loop it over and over and over until you fall asleep. Feel it real. This is crucial. Feel the handshake's pressure. Hear the congratulations tone. See the numbers clearly. Your subconscious doesn't respond to images. It responds to feelings. The image is just the vehicle for the feeling. Loop this scene like a GIF in your mind. Each loop add more sensory detail. What's the temperature? What do you smell? What textures do you feel? Keep looping until you fall asleep inside the scene. You're literally sleeping and your wish fulfilled. The morning protocol. What happens next is critical. When you wake up, you might not remember your SATS session clearly. That's perfect. It means you succeeded in impressing your subconscious. But here's where most people destroy their work. They wake up and immediately check if it worked. Neville taught, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and observe the route that your attention follows. Don't look for evidence. Don't check for signs. Live from your manifestation, not toward it. This is called the Sabbath. The mental rest after creation. You've planted the seed in the quantum field through SATS. Now stop digging it up to see if it's growing. Your only job is to persist in the assumption that it's done. During the days, if a doubt creeps in, remember your SATS scene. Feel it briefly, then drop it. You're not trying to force anything. You're simply remembering what you already created in consciousness. Most manifestations from proper SATS technique appear within 3 days to 3 weeks. The timing depends on how natural the feeling was during your session. The more natural it felt, the faster it appears. This isn't magic, it's the mechanics of consciousness. The master key. Here's what Neville revealed near the end of his life. The master key that makes SATS unstoppable. It's not about the technique, it's about the state. When you enter SATS feeling grateful that your desire is already yours, you collapse time. Don't enter SATS wanting. Enter SATS having. Feel the relief that it's finally done. Feel the satisfaction that it worked out perfectly. Feel the gratitude that the universe delivered exactly what you needed. This is why children manifest so easily. They don't imagine getting the toy. They imagine playing with it. They don't hope. They know. In SATS, become the child who knows Santa already delivered. Neville manifested everything this way. His teachings, his success, his family, even specific amounts of money, down to the penny. He once imagined holding a specific book he'd written. 5 years before he wrote it, the book appeared exactly as imagined. The power isn't in perfect visualization, it's in perfect feeling. Feel it done, fall asleep in that feeling, and wake up in that knowing. On your imagination in SATS is God's workshop. What you build there must appear here, call to action. Tonight, you have an appointment with your destiny. In those drowsy moments before sleep, you hold the power to rewrite your entire story. Choose your scene. Feel it, real, loop it until you become it is. Neville Goddard proved this works. His science confirmed it. Millions have used it. Tonight, it's your turn. Your new life begins not tomorrow morning, but tonight, in that magical state akin to sleep. Share this with someone who needs their life to change. And remember Neville's words. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Tonight, in SATS, you're not hoping. You're creating it.